Petrol and diesel prices these days are going through the roof, and that is making it more and more tougher for a common man to drive their cars and live with that kind of high running cost. Now, electric vehicles are still not there, they're still far on the horizon. So what's the solution in the middle? Now, Tata Motors thinks they have a solution for it, and they claim that their new iCNG technology can give people the kind of efficiency they want to save money, but at the same time not sacrifice driving pleasure. Now, is that true? Well, they have launched the Tigor and the Tiago with the iCNG technology, and we have the Tigor iCNG with us today, and the proof lies in the pudding. So let's go ahead and drive the car and find out if the iCNG is fun to drive or just another boring CNG car. The main reason why you would buy the Tigor or the Tiago iCNG, and that's the performance in CNG mode. Now, for starters, well, this comes with a factory-fitted CNG. It comes with a lot of safety measures. So, of course, in case of an accident, there's an automatic fuel shut-off, and all of those technologies have been deployed to ensure that driving this car is safe, first of all. Now, coming to the engine, well, it's a 1.2-liter petrol engine, and it offers 73 PS even in CNG mode, and that is the highest in this segment. If you look at CNG cars, well, this is the most powerful in its segment, and that is a really good thing, because in general the problem with CNG cars is that when you're driving it on CNG, they are too boring, dull and lethargic to drive. Now, Tata Motors claim that with the iCNG technology and the use of an advanced single ECU for managing both the fuels, well, according to their claim, they have found a solution to this, and according to them, this car does not give you the kind of sluggish response you get from a CNG car. Is that true? I am happy to report that the iCNG technology works really well. It is nice and powerful to drive, so you can have a good city drive. It is fuel efficient as well, so that serves your main purpose, that is having an economical running cost. So it does all of that. Now, when it comes to, well, your general driving, your handling, the ride quality, nothing much has changed when you compare it to the standard Tigor. Of course, the weight of the CNG has taken the total weight up, and to compensate that and to maintain the same level of ground clearance, what Tata has done is they have retuned the suspension, and that means the suspension has been stiffened up to take that load. As a result of that, when you're going over bad patches at slow speeds, the ride quality can be a bit jerky and jarring at times, but once you gain momentum, you get to about 30-40 kilometers per hour. Well, thereon it becomes pretty nice. Even in terms of handling, well, the retuned suspension hasn't made a big difference, because this is not a car that you're going to throw around corners at a high speed. But yes, straight line stability is good, the brakes do their job well, and of course with neutral handling, that means you can take this car to even the hill sections or any road and have confidence that as long as you are driving sanely, the car will react accordingly. So overall, in terms of driving performance, I think the Tata iCNG cars hit the right balance and check the right boxes. In terms of the CNG performance, I'll say the difference is minimal. When you switch from petrol to CNG, and that can happen at the touch of a button, and it happens so instantaneously, you can hardly make out the difference. The only difference that you know is that the engine loses a touch of refinement in CNG mode when you compare it to the petrol one. In terms of performance, there is not a noticeable change unless you really want to go deep and pinpoint the differences. Well, it would be a difference of, say, between 19 and 20. Well, that's the only difference between the petrol mode and the CNG mode. So yes, as far as driving performance is concerned, the iCNG technology works, and it works well. The gearbox, it's a manual 5-speed gearbox. This manual gearbox works like a charm, has been paired well to the engine, and in CNG mode, you can easily take the car, you can easily take it off the line in second gear. You do not need to downshift again and again, and that makes driving very convenient. Now, unlike many other CNG cars that are offered in lower variants, well, the Tigor and the Tiago are offered even in higher variants. So that means you do not have to sacrifice features. Now, if I talk about this cabin, well, it's not very different from a standard Tigor. So you get the same layout, but here you get a dual tone shade for the dashboard, which looks kind of good. Of course, I would have wanted the lower part of the dashboard to have a better plastic quality, especially in the lowest center console. It could have been better. And as far as the infotainment screen is concerned, the Harman system, it works well. It comes with Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, and of course, in terms of touch response also, it offers good performance. The instrument cluster is a good one. It's a digital cluster, and this offers separate fuel gauges for the CNG as well as petrol. So that's a very good thing. You can see at any given point of time how much petrol you have and how much CNG you have. So that is very helpful. Beyond that, again, the switch to basically the button to switch from petrol to CNG and vice versa is simple. It's just one button here, press, and the change is pretty instantaneous. You do not get to know. So that's a very good thing. The technology works well. The cabin in terms of space, well, Tigor has always been a spacious car. If you look at it from a segment perspective, it continues to do so because there are no changes in terms of the wheelbase or the dimensions, and it continues to be a comfortable car, a practical car. Even at the back, there's a good amount of legroom. The seats are good. You get a good driving position, and visibility all around is also good. So the main takeaway from me from a cabin perspective is the fact that you do not have to sacrifice features. You can enjoy features, and you can enjoy the economy of driving a CNG. So as far as driving experience is concerned, Tata Motors has been able to achieve the objective of providing people with a CNG car that is efficient, but at the same time, it's almost there when it comes to equality with a petrol powertrain. With a minor difference, it is still good to drive, the most powerful CNG car in its segment. And the best thing is that unlike some other cars which are offered in CNG variants in lower or middle trims with no features, this one comes loaded. Even at the exterior, if you see this chrome, the projector headlamps, and a lot of other features, all of them have been given to give people a kind of a premium experience. At the inside also, again, the features have not been stripped off in order to bring down the cost. You get a good set of features, and we already spoke about that. We talked about that earlier. So in essence, if you look at the prices at the bottom of your screen right now for the Tiago as well as the Tigor, I think these cars are priced competitively also. And as a result of that, I can clearly put out my hand and say that if you're looking for a CNG car that saves money, this of course does, but at the same time, it will not deprive you of driving pleasure. It's not going to make you want to pull your hair because the car is so boring to drive. That's not the case, and the iCNG works very good in the real world.